had been the case, someone would have alerted her. Then she heard it. A gasp, a collective gasp. She looked toward the stables. Had everyone at Halton House been herded into the stables? What if they were being held captive and at gunpoint? The next sound she heard sounded like a chorus of exclamations. Evie looked over her shoulder. Instinct told her to run back to the house, collect Seth, who was no doubt still in bed, and contact the local constabulary. The 7-year-old Earl of Woodridge had arrived a couple of days before to spend the Christmas holiday with them. In case of any emergency, his safety would be of paramount importance. What if she was too late? What if Seth had been wrenched from his bed and dragged to the stables? Nonsense. She would have been taken too. Regardless, she turned to rush back inside. However, she then heard a rapturous sound of applause. More intrigued than fearful now, she turned back toward the stables and took a few determined steps. Coming up to a window, she peered inside. Heavens! Evie eased the door open far enough to slip inside the stables. She must have stood there for a good 5 minutes before anyone noticed her. Everyone, from Edgar the butler to Lily the maid who lit her fire in the morning, stood by watching Seth sitting on a pony, trotting from one end of the stables to the other with Tom Winchester running alongside him on one side and Caro, her maid, on the opposite side, their hands ready to catch the 7-year-old Earl of Woodridge in case he happened to slip off his saddle. Encouragement followed him every step of the way, with her granny Toodles cheering the loudest. For a split second, Evie felt surprised to see her. After delaying her return to America, her granny had then decided she had no desire to risk an encounter with an iceberg, and would spend Christmas at Halton House. The dowagers, Henrietta and Sarah, stood beside her, urging the young Lord Woodridge to break into a canter. Everyone remained oblivious of Evie standing by the door, and she almost felt compelled to sneak out and let them continue enjoying themselves. But that would have meant missing out on the sight of young Seth's enjoyment. His eyebrows were knitted together in deep concentration while his lips were stretched as wide as they could go into a bright smile. Only 2 years before, he had lost both parents within a short time. His father had perished in the trenches, while his mother had succumbed to the Spanish flu. If he still felt the pain of his loss, he did not show it. For most people, life went on, and everyone found a way to keep going, learning to carry the extra burden of their experiences. Both pony and rider trotted toward Evie's end of the stables, Seth's 2 able assistants still running alongside him. Then one of the maids shifted, and in doing so she caught sight of Evie. Bobbing a curtsy, she nudged the maid beside her, who then also bobbed a curtsy. They both rushed out of the stable, but not before alerting the people near them. One by one, the spectators became aware of Evie, and left in a hurry as if suddenly remembering they had pressing matters to attend to. Edgar must have been held enthralled by Seth's horse riding. Only when the stables emptied of all the house staff did he finally notice everyone's absence. Looking around him, he then saw Evie. Edgar's cheeks coloured. Giving his sleeves a firm tug, he straightened and walked toward her, inclining his head slightly as he said, "My lady, good morning." "Edgar, if I'd known everyone would be down here, I would have made a point of coming down earlier. When did this happen? How? And where did that pony come from?" Edgar cleared his throat. "Well, I'm not sure, my lady." He looked about him. "If you'll excuse me, I have matters to attend to." Henrietta clapped her hands. "Evangeline, you've been missing out on all the fun." "Yes, I can see that. Why didn't anyone tell me?" "Good morning, Birdie." "Good morning, Granny." "It all happened so quickly," Toodles said. "One moment we were settling down to breakfast, and the next, here we were." Henrietta nodded. "Yes, I had been attending to my correspondence."